Hello, folks, and welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania with earth-shattering news. On Friday, February 7th, 2025, Donald John Trump, President of the United States, imposed restrictions, sanctions, decisions, whatever you want to call it, against South Africa. It's not really sanctions. It's really just suspending all foreign aid, but also adding a component that caught a lot of people off guard. And I'm going to read the relevant sections of this executive order. Section 1, this is what Donald Trump had to say. In shocking disregard of its citizens' rights, the Republic of South Africa recently enacted expropriation to enable the government of South Africa to seize ethnic minority Afrikaners' agricultural property without compensation. This act follows countless government policies designed to dismantle equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, and hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against racially disfavored landowners. In addition, South Africa has taken aggressive positions towards the United States and its allies, including accusing Israel, not Hamas, of genocide in the International Court of Justice and reinvigorating its relations with Iran to develop commercial, military, and nuclear arrangements. The United States cannot support the government of South Africa's commission of rights violations in its country or its undermining United States foreign policy, which poses national security threats to our nation, our allies, our African partners, and our interests. It is the policy of the United States that as long as South Africa continues these unjust and immoral practices that harm our nation, the United States shall not provide aid or assistance to South Africa, and the United States shall promote the resettlement of Afrikaner refugees escaping government-sponsored race-based discrimination, including racially discriminatory property confiscation. And he jumps forward to Section 4, refugee resettlement and other humanitarian considerations. The Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall take appropriate steps consistent with law to prioritize humanitarian relief, including admission and resettlement through the United States Refugee Admissions Program for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. Such plan shall be submitted to the President through the Assistant to the President and the Homeland Security Advisor. Wow. That's crazy. First off, let me be very clear. I just finished a 4-hour live broadcast after this news broke, telling us to South Africans, people around the world about these events. And a lot of people are already getting fake news from South Africa claiming that this is for farmers. It's not for farmers. Let me be very clear. It's for Afrikaners. Now, what is an Afrikaner? That's not defined here. Most people know what an Afrikaner is. I would suggest people wait to find out. The program that will affect this is United States Refugee Admissions Program. United States Refugee Admissions Program. You can look it up online to find out what the conditions are, but there may be specific conditions attached to this particular refugee status. A lot of people in my program came in and said, well, it's for farmers. Again, I say the program is for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. And I refer you back to the first section, the purpose in which they talk about government policies designed to dismantle equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, and hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling violence against minorities. So that is much more than just farmers. It's all Afrikaners. Now, I'm not encouraging anyone to apply for this or discouraging anyone, and I'm quite heartbroken that it's come to this. But the arrogance of the African National Congress, again on Friday, insulting the United States by joining a group of 83 other countries and complaining about the United States sanctioning the International Criminal Court, of which the United States is not a body. It operates at The Hague in the Netherlands. We designed the Rome Statute. We wrote the Rome Statute, and then it was abused, and therefore the United States Senate never ratified it, and we therefore did not accede to that treaty. Donald Trump, because of its behaviors, decided to sanction it, and as a consequence, these 84 countries, including South Africa, are attacking the United States for its position. South Africa scored an own goal there. Also scored an own goal on Thursday when Cyril Ramaphosa intentionally insulted the United States by saying, we will not be bullied. Did he really think that his stupid populist rhetoric in a forum where he's very unpopular with MK and with the EFF and others was going to go over very well outside South Africa? Well, America was watching and Donald Trump was watching, and he insulted Trump on Thursday and again on Friday, and the hammer came down. If this in fact happens and Afrikaners leave en masse, which I don't think will happen, and come to the United States, it will be devastating in South Africa's economy. A lot of black racists and black supremacists in the ANC, MK, and EFF will cherish this and relish the joy of this, but your economy will completely collapse, and it'll be a disaster for South Africa. I hope that the ANC comes back from the brink, but I would not hold my breath. Again, folks, at this hour, I want to be very clear about what's going on here. This is a refugee resettlement program. Therefore, it doesn't matter what your job skills are. It doesn't matter your age. If you think you're too old to immigrate somewhere like Australia or New Zealand, they'll only take you if you're young enough to contribute to the economy. But refugee status doesn't matter. You could be 95. You could be paralyzed. As long as you're not a criminal, you can come to America under this program if you meet the standards. And right now, the standards are pretty loose, just an Afrikaner. I mean, if I was a color from Western Cape and I spoke Afrikaans and my last name was Kloti, I think I'd apply if I wanted to get out of South Africa. We don't know. Hold your breath, hold your powder. Let's wait and see what comes out of this. But at this hour on this day, 3:22 a.m. on the 8th of February, we will have to wait and see what comes out of the Department of State and Department of Homeland Security on Monday to know what's going on. But the way this administration is moving, we might know sooner. And here is a warning to the African National Congress, not from me, but from my analytical point of view on this. You are warned, and you continually provoke the United States. And it's much more than the things I mentioned here. They were left off. Many other things. The Lady R, Cuba, Tehran, the list goes on and on. You will lose a GOA status. In addition to losing a GOA status, don't be surprised if sanctions and travel restrictions and banking restrictions are applied to ANC senior policy officials if you don't back down from this nonsense. You've been warned. There's a new sheriff in town, and that's reality. And not to insult anybody, but the bottom line is fuck around and find out. And that's what's going on with the world today. Donald Trump is playing no games. He's deadly serious about restoring America and restoring the world to liberty and freedom for all. Well, South Africa, what do you say this morning? You got the true story here, not the fake news that the media are telling you about. It's only for farmers. And my one word of caution here is that if you're a South African, be very careful where you go the next few days, what's going on. Be cognizant of your surroundings, because there will be people who are racist and bigots who will blame white South Africans in particular for this, and AfriForum and others, and try to target you, or other people simply start invading farms. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm not predicting violence. I'm just saying that be careful out there. God bless and have a good day.